What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. I thought we were done with videos for the day, but keep your horses held. Things have changed when it comes to the by-election riding for Battle River Crowfoot, and specifics to the longest ballot. A lot of people have been asking what happens with the longest ballot. What's Pierre Poilievre going to do with a 7-foot long ballot? You heard that correctly. That with all the names on this phony ballot, those who had been voted in illegally, those who had been brought over from the Carleton longest ballot, it's up in the air. I'm going to talk about that briefly, but it's good to know interference has come in the way of Elections Alberta, Elections Canada, and we are going to see a proper ballot adopted, meaning Pierre is no longer at risk with this destructive ballot, or those working in the by-election having to spend hours going through 7-foot long ballots in order to count what's going on. I want to start by first shouting out Ryan over at Northern Perspective. They do great work over there. About an hour ago, he released this brief clip. I was literally just getting off the phone with Pierre's people when I sat down in front of the camera. So he's known for about an hour, but it's time to really tell you guys what's going on. Now, they've done a lot in terms of exposing the legalities and illegalities of the longest ballot as a protest and exactly what's happening with it. But here it is right here. Let's take a look at what Ryan has to say. We just spoke with Elections Canada. This is what you need to know if you're voting in the Battle River Crowfoot by-election. Let's take a brief look at what Ryan says.
Everybody, we have breaking news from Elections Canada. They just posted an announcement not too long ago that they will actually be adapting the ballot for the by-election in Battle River Crowfoot, just like we speculated that they would. And the reason why they can do this is because Section 17 under the Elections Act gives them emergency powers to actually do so. So that's great to see that they're actually doing something about this, and this effectively eliminates everybody on the longest ballot in terms of the relevance of the long ballot, because electors will actually not be given a 2-meter long ballot, which is probably what it would have ended up being. Now, I just got off the phone with Elections Canada because I know there are some concerns out there about what if we spell the candidate's name incorrectly. So, right from Elections Canada, it doesn't matter if you spell the candidate's name incorrectly as long as they can tell who you're actually trying to vote for. I also asked them, if you just write in Conservative, will that count? The answer is no, that will not count. So do not only write in the party of the candidate that you're actually trying to vote for.
So good information there from Ryan. Again, I don't want to steal his entire clip, but go check it out. I'm sure Northern will be putting out a video about this in due time as well. But it's good to see that at least they're figuring out a few things on our behalf, on our behest. Of course, Elections Canada now posting this video as well. In regards, it says important Elections Canada will now use an adapted ballot for the by-election in Battle River Crowfoot. Electors will need to write the name of the candidate they are voting for on the ballot, confirming that, yes, in fact, this is the way things are going to run. Now, let's take a quick look at the clip they're talking about here. We're just going to mute that audio just in case. We don't want to worry about copyrights. So given the unusually high number of candidates and past challenges with the largest ballots, this is Elections Canada will be using an adapted ballot. So this is again showing how that ballot is going to work. It's a simple piece of paper that instead of making this choice in a circle, electors will need to write the name of the candidate, much as Ryan said, by voting on the ballot. So again, if it's misspelled, still counts. Complete list of candidates will be available, which is good. As long as the intent of the elector is clear in writing a candidate's name, the vote will count. And if an elector writes only the name of the political party, the vote will not count, as Ryan said. So you can't write Conservative on the ballot. It says, as always, the ballot will have integrity safeguards to ensure its authenticity. Election workers will count all ballots in front of witnesses, which again ensures that this is a free and fair election. I think this is great. I think it's fantastic what they're doing here. I think it's great that this maybe puts some fears to rest when it comes to the longest ballot. I've always said that I think when people go to the ballot box, they already know who they're voting for. I can assure you that nobody was going to be voting for the individuals that take up the 7-foot long ballot. However, it was going to pose a huge inconvenience in terms of the counting, in terms of what does this mean for future elections. This essentially stops the longest ballot protest from continuing in other elections. This can be the method that's adopted in the future. So again, I just wanted to do this quick update video to let you guys know that the longest ballot has been smothered, that it is not moving forward. And hopefully this means good things for Pierre and his camp, and it means good things for those who are actually actively running against Pierre, that they can get their points across, they can have a free and fair by-election, and the people of Battle River Crowfoot ultimately get to decide now who they want to have represent them, rather than half of them quit just because they don't want to deal with a 7-foot ballot. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you happy to see this snuffed out? Do you think it would have made a difference or not? Let me know your thoughts down below. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure to like, share, comment, do all that YouTube jazz. Lately, the videos have been getting snuffed out, so it really helps if you guys push the videos out a little bit further by doing those free things that give us a hand if you enjoyed the content. If you're hitting that subscribe button, don't forget to turn on your bell for all notifications, because we do 2 live shows a week now, folks. Wednesdays and Fridays. You can join me Wednesday night for Unhinged Fringe, our new weekly live stream show where we're going to talk about more Canadian politics, some U.S. politics, maybe some world politics, stuff that doesn't hit the cutting room floor. No Mrs. Fringe will be on Wednesday night streams. Of course, we're bringing back the Celtic Canuck for her triumphant return to YouTube under the Unacceptable Fringe umbrella. Everyone's looking forward to having her back. I'm looking forward to hearing what Celtic Canuck has to say again. I'll also be bringing in another co-host next week to join us for a roundtable show each and every week on Unhinged Fringe. Don't forget also Friday Night Fringe, our weekly live streaming show where I am joined by the beautiful Mrs. Fringe as we talk about everything that happened this week in politics, everything we know coming up in the week ahead, as well as in both live streams, hearing what you have to say outside of making these videos. I always look forward to chatting with you guys outside of making the videos, and I always look forward to hearing what you have to say, but I most importantly look forward to hearing what you guys have to say this Wednesday for Celtic Canuck's return on Unhinged Fringe, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel each Wednesday and Friday. God, I'm going to have to figure out how to shorten that down a bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.